Let me ask you a question. What if I told you that everything you've ever wanted, everything you've ever dreamed of, is just one step away? Think about that for a moment. One step, one decision, one action. That's it. You've spent years working hard, striving, pushing forward, but something still feels out of reach. Success feels elusive. You've made progress, but it's like there's a wall between you and your dreams. Every time you get close, it seems to slip just beyond your grasp. I know this feeling. I know what it's like to feel like you're putting in everything you have, but not seeing the results you want. And I know how frustrating it can be to see others succeed while you wonder if you're ever going to get there. But here's the truth. Success is not as far away as it seems. You've been chasing it, working for it, struggling toward it, but what if I told you that success is not some distant, unreachable dream? What if success is only one step away? And that one step could be the one that changes everything. Let's take a moment to connect with each other. Every one of us has experienced moments of doubt. We've all felt like we're giving our all, but success still seems out of reach. Whether it's chasing that promotion, starting a business, or reaching a personal goal, we've all been there. What if the success you're striving for is already within your reach, just beyond that next step? The one step that changes everything. So, what's stopping you from taking that step? Is it fear, doubt, the uncertainty of what's on the other side? And let me tell you something. That one step is all you need. It's all that separates you from everything you've ever wanted. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to take that one step. The hesitation, the fear, the doubts, they'll all be there, but don't let them stop you. You're closer than you think. That one step could change your life. Will you take it? Is success really out of reach? Let's stop right there for a second. I know it feels like success is miles away, that no matter how hard you try, it's always just out of reach. But I want you to reframe your perspective. Success isn't as distant as it seems. You're closer than you think. That one step, the one you're hesitant to take, is all that stands between you and everything you've worked for. Think about it. It's that one decision, that one action that will push you through the wall that's been holding you back. So I ask you, are you willing to take that step, or are you going to let it slip away? How long are you going to keep waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect condition, the perfect time to act? The truth is, if you wait for everything to line up perfectly, you might never move. This is the moment, right now. Are you going to take the leap, or let fear and doubt continue to control your future? The choice is yours. A moment of truth. This is your time. This is it, the moment you've been waiting for. The moment where you realize that everything you've ever dreamed of is not out of reach. It's right here, right now, waiting for you to make a choice. The power to change everything is in your hands. You have everything you need already inside of you. But what you do right now, in this very moment, will define the rest of your life. Will you hesitate and let this moment slip away? Or will you take that first step and claim the life you deserve? Think about everything you want. What's been on your heart for years? What is it that you've wanted to achieve but never thought possible? Maybe you've been chasing a dream and it seems like you're not getting any closer. Maybe you've been working for something that feels out of reach. But I'm here to tell you that everything changes in one moment. This moment, the decision you make now will determine whether you stay in the cycle of struggle or break free and step into your greatness. You are capable. You have what it takes. All you need is the courage to take that first step. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's uncertain, but this is the time to act. This is the time to make the leap. This is the moment that will set you on the path to everything you've ever wanted. Don't let it pass you by. Your future is calling. Will you answer? Understanding your current reality, facing the truth. Where are you right now? Let's get real for a moment. Some of you feel stuck. You've been working hard, trying your best, yet you feel like you're in the exact same place you were 5 years ago. You're putting in the time, putting in the effort, but you're not seeing the results. That's frustrating. It's like running on a treadmill, giving it your all, but going nowhere. And deep down, you know that something has to change. But why are you still here? Why are you still in the same place? The truth is, many of you are trapped in a comfort zone. It's easy to stay where you are. It's familiar, it's safe, even if it's not where you want to be. But don't fool yourself. Comfort isn't what it seems. You see, comfort might feel good in the short term, but in the long run, it's keeping you from the life you deserve. Right now, I want you to reflect. Look around at your life, at your career, your relationships, your personal growth. Is this where you want to be? If not, It's time to face the truth, and that truth is this: change won't happen until you make it happen. You have to be willing to confront where you are before you can get to where you want to be. The illusion of comfort. Why staying still is the real danger. Let me tell you something about comfort. It's a trap. It's an illusion. Sure, staying in your comfort zone feels easy. It's like wrapping yourself in a warm blanket. But let me ask you this. What's the true cost of staying in that comfort? The cost is stagnation. The cost is wasting your potential. Every day you stay still, every day you choose to keep things the way they are, you are losing the opportunity to grow, to evolve, to become the person you're meant to be. And here's the harsh truth. Staying where you are isn't a safety net, it's a slow death of your potential. Staying still doesn't solve anything. It doesn't keep you safe, it doesn't protect you from failure. What it does is make the fear of change even stronger. The longer you stay stuck, the harder it becomes to take that first step forward. It becomes a cycle. You're afraid to take action, so you stay in the same place, and the fear grows, feeding on itself. Ask yourself, what's worse, the fear of change or the regret of staying exactly where you are? Don't let complacency steal your future. The longer you stay in your comfort zone, the more you'll miss out on what could have been. It's time to break the illusion. It's time to wake up and realize that safety is just another name for stagnation. And stagnation, that's the real danger. Confronting your limitations, what's holding you back? So, what's keeping you from moving forward? Be honest with yourself. Is it fear, doubt, the fear of failure? Maybe it's the weight of external pressure, or maybe you're just waiting for the right time, which, let's face it, is never coming. You tell yourself that once the circumstances are perfect, you'll take action. But guess what? The perfect time doesn't exist. The only thing keeping you from what you want is you. You've allowed these barriers, these self-imposed limitations to hold you hostage. Maybe it's fear of what might happen if you fail. Maybe it's a lack of confidence or the belief that you're not good enough. But let me tell you something. These limitations are just thoughts. They're not facts. They don't define you. And if you let them, they will control you. So, here's a challenge for you. Take a moment and name your personal. What is it? What's that one thing that's been holding you back that you've allowed to stand in your way? It's time to call it out. Once you do, you take away its power. You make it something you can face, something you can overcome. And that, my friend, is where the real power lies. The choice between comfort and growth now. It's time for a reality check. You can't grow if you stay in the same place. You can't build the life you want if you don't get uncomfortable. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you push yourself past your limits, when you decide that you're willing to face the discomfort, the fear, and the uncertainty of stepping into the unknown. You see, many of you think you're stuck because of your circumstances. But let me tell you this. You're not stuck because of your circumstances. You're stuck because of your mindset. Your mindset is the real wall that's keeping you from moving forward. You have the power to break through it, but only if you're willing to change your thinking. There's a saying that goes, the only way out is through. The only way to break through the fear, the doubt, and the limitations is to take that first step into the unknown. And let me tell you something. On the other side of that fear is freedom. On the other side of that discomfort is your success. But you'll never get there unless you choose to face the challenge. Think about the people you admire most, the ones who've achieved greatness. They didn't get there by staying comfortable. They didn't get there by playing it safe. They got there by choosing to face their fears and take risks. They got there by refusing to let their limitations define them. And if they can do it, so can you. It's time to make a choice. The comfort you're holding on to, it's not keeping you safe. It's keeping you from growing. You have the power to change right now. You have the power to take that first step. But you have to choose it. Will you stay where you are, or will you take the leap and go after the life you deserve? This is your moment. It's time to take that step. It's time to break free. You have everything inside you. Now, are you ready to unlock it? Success isn't a giant leap, it's a series of small steps. Let's address the biggest myth in the world of success, the idea of the overnight success. We see it everywhere. The stories of people who seem to have hit it big in the blink of an eye. The headlines scream they did it, but here's the truth. No one gets there without taking small, consistent steps. It's easy to get distracted by the glamour of big achievements, but the reality is that every success is built on a foundation of small actions. Big changes, the ones that truly matter, are simply the culmination of these small steps. They're steps that seem insignificant at first, steps that are easy to take, but when compounded, they are incredibly powerful. Think about it like this. No one climbs a mountain by taking one giant leap. They take it one step at a time. That's how real growth happens. Gradually, steadily, one step at a time. The journey begins with just one step. Just one. It's easy to doubt that one small action could lead to something big, but believe me when I say that one step is all it takes to get started. It's not about the big leap, it's about the courage to take that first step. From there, everything else begins to fall into place. Every success story starts the same way, with the decision to move forward, even if it's just a small step. The compound effect, small steps lead to big wins. Now, let's talk about something that most people overlook. The compound effect. This is where the real power of small steps comes into play. Every small action you take, every step you put forward is like adding a little bit of fuel to the fire of your success. At first, it may not seem like much. You might not see any immediate results, but remember, small actions repeated consistently over time lead to exponential growth. Think of it like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, you don't see the tree immediately. In fact, for days, weeks, even months, it might look like nothing is happening. But deep down, beneath the surface, the roots are growing. Over time, that tiny seed will sprout, grow stronger, and eventually become something massive. That's how success works. It's a slow, steady process that, once it gains momentum, has the power to move mountains. The key here is momentum. Once you take that first step, the next one becomes easier, and then the next one. Each step you take doesn't just move you forward, it compounds your progress. It's like rolling a snowball down a hill. At first it's small, but as it rolls, it gathers more snow and becomes bigger and more powerful. The same goes for your journey. So stop waiting for a breakthrough. Start with what you have, where you are, and with that first step. Keep going and watch how your small actions build into something much greater than you could have ever imagined. Building consistency. Why small wins matter. You don't need to hit a home run every time. In fact, real success isn't about hitting it out of the park every single time. It's about showing up every day. Consistency is the key that unlocks long-term success. Success doesn't always come from grand gestures or monumental achievements. Sometimes it's the small wins that matter the most. Those little wins are the building blocks of your future. Every time you push yourself to take a small step, you're adding another piece to the puzzle. Maybe today it's getting out of bed when you didn't feel like it. Maybe it's making a healthier choice or having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Those small wins don't need to be flashy. They just need to be consistent. Ask yourself, what small win can you accomplish today? What one step can you take right now that will move you closer to where you want to be? It doesn't need to be huge, but it needs to be real. The key to consistent progress is showing up every day and taking action, no matter how small. The small wins build over time, and before you know it, you're no longer stuck. You're moving forward with unstoppable momentum. The resistance you'll face and how to overcome it, let me tell you something. Every step forward will be met with resistance. The bigger the step, the bigger the resistance. Resistance comes in many forms: doubt, fear, fatigue, distraction. It's a force that's always trying to hold you back. But here's the key: resistance doesn't win unless you stop. The only way it defeats you is if you quit. When you face resistance, it's not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a sign that you're moving in the right direction. Resistance is the universe's way of testing your commitment. It's challenging you to keep going, to stay strong, to prove to yourself that you're worthy of the success you're chasing. So what do you do when resistance shows up? You keep pushing forward. You don't let it stop you. The hardest step is always the first one, but once you take it, the next step becomes easier. And the next, and the next. You build momentum by refusing to give in to the resistance. Each time you push past it, you get stronger. You get closer to your goals. Don't be afraid of resistance. Embrace it. Because every time you face it and move forward, you're proving to yourself that you can overcome anything. Keep going, no matter what. Your future is waiting on the other side. Fear isn't the enemy, it's the signal you're about to grow. Let me ask you something. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you feel fear creeping in? Most of you will say it's something to avoid, something that holds you back. But let me tell you something. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is a signal that you're about to grow. It's a sign that you're on the verge of a breakthrough, right on the edge of something incredible. When you feel fear, don't run from it. Don't let it paralyze you. Instead, ask yourself, what would happen if I used this fear to propel myself forward? What if you let fear be the fuel for the fire that drives you toward greatness? Think of fear like the tension on a bowstring. The more you pull it back, the more energy it stores. But if you release it at the right time, it has the power to launch you toward your target with incredible force. Without that tension, without that fear, the arrow would just drop to the ground. So don't shy away from fear. Use it. It's not there to stop you. It's there to show you how close you are to your goal. Fear means you're stepping out of your comfort zone. It means you're stretching, growing, evolving, and let me tell you, nothing great ever happens in the comfort zone. Fear is the trigger that forces you to take action and move forward. So the next time fear shows up, don't see it as a roadblock, see it as a sign that you're on the right path. Why playing it safe is the riskiest choice. Too many people think that playing it safe is the key to happiness. They believe that if they stay in their comfort zone, if they don't take risks, they'll avoid pain, failure, and disappointment. But here's the truth. Staying where you are is the riskiest thing you can do. You see, playing it safe doesn't protect you from pain. It locks you into a cage. It keeps you in the same place, doing the same thing, with no chance for growth. You might feel comfortable now, but that comfort comes with a cost. That cost is your potential. If you don't take action, if you don't step forward, you'll regret it. And let me tell you, regret hurts more than failure ever will. Regret eats at you from the inside. It whispers, what if? And why didn't I? It haunts you long after the missed opportunity has passed. Failure, on the other hand, is temporary. It's a lesson. It's a part of the journey. So ask yourself, what's worse, failing or never trying at all? Playing it safe might feel good in the short term, but it guarantees one thing: you'll never reach your full potential. You'll never experience the thrill of pushing past your limits and achieving something you once thought was impossible. The truth is, you can't grow without taking risks. So stop holding back, stop playing it safe. The real risk is inaction. The real risk is letting fear control you. How to face fear head on and use it as fuel. Now, I want you to understand something very important. Fear doesn't have to control you. In fact, the most successful people are those who feel the fear, but decide to act anyway. They don't let fear paralyze them. They use it as fuel to move forward, even when their heart is racing and their mind is screaming, what if I fail? Fear doesn't have to stop you. It can actually be your greatest motivator. When you feel that surge of fear, it's your body telling you that you're doing something important. It's your mind telling you that you're pushing the limits of your potential. And that's where the magic happens. You have two choices. You can either let fear stop you, or you can let it push you to become the person you've always wanted to be. You can either let fear dictate your future, or you can let it drive you towards success. The choice is yours. Don't let fear hold you back. Use it as a springboard to leap forward. You have everything inside you to turn that fear into power. Turning fear into power, the first step is the hardest. Let me be clear about something. The first step is always the hardest. It's supposed to be. You're stepping into the unknown, into a place where things aren't guaranteed. That's where the fear comes from. That's where the fear comes from. But I need you to understand this. That first step, the one that scares you the most, is where the magic happens. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be terrifying. But that's exactly why you have to take it. Because that's the only way to grow. If you want to see change in your life, if you want to move forward, you have to embrace the discomfort. You have to push through the fear and take that first step. So do it scared, do it anyway. That's where growth happens. That's where breakthroughs happen. The moment you step out of your comfort zone, everything starts to shift. You start to realize that the fear you thought would hold you back is actually the thing that propels you forward. You got to stop waiting for the fear to go away. It won't. But you can take that first step even with the fear, because once you do, you'll be amazed at how much stronger and more capable you feel. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. Step forward, even if it's scary. That's where the power lies. Why resilience is the key to success. Let me tell you something. Success isn't about avoiding failure. It's not about never stumbling. Success is about getting back up every single time you fall. It's about having the strength to stand up, shake off the dust, and keep moving forward. Think about it this way. Resilience is like learning to walk. Every single time you fall, you learn something new. Each stumble teaches you how to balance better, how to adjust your stride, and how to keep going. The child doesn't give up after one fall. They don't sit on the ground, cry, and decide walking is impossible. No, they get back up again and again until walking becomes second nature. That's resilience. It's your ability to rise no matter how many times you've been knocked down. Resilience isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving despite the odds. Every time life knocks you down, you have two choices. You can stay down or you can rise again, stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. Success isn't built on the perfect path, it's built on a path of ups and downs. Those who succeed understand this deeply. They don't fear failure, they embrace it. They know failure is just another step on the journey. It's proof that you're trying, and when you keep trying, you're bound to succeed. So remember, resilience isn't a gift, it's a choice. It's your decision to rise every time you fall. And I promise you, the more you rise, the stronger you'll become. Persistence. The most overlooked ingredient in success. Talent is great, but let me tell you something. You can be talented and still fail. Why? Because talent alone doesn't win in the end. What wins every single time is persistence. The ability to keep going when everyone else would have quit. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone with immense talent fall short because they gave up when things got tough? Talent doesn't carry you to the finish line, persistence does. The most successful people aren't necessarily the most talented, they're the ones who refuse to quit. No matter how many doors slam in their face, no matter how many times they fail, they keep going. They keep pushing, keep grinding, and keep believing that the next attempt will be the one that works. Just look at any great success story. Look at people like Thomas Edison. He didn't invent the light bulb on the first try, or Michael Jordan, who was cut from his high school basketball team. They all had failures, they all had setbacks, but what set them apart was their refusal to give up. They kept going when everyone else would have thrown in the towel. And that's what makes the difference. Success doesn't come to the ones who have it easy, it comes to the ones who keep going, who keep pushing, even when it seems impossible. So let me ask you this. When things get tough for you, what's your move? Do you quit or do you dig in and keep going? Remember, persistence is what makes the difference. It's what separates those who achieve from those who settle. How to keep going when it gets hard. Listen to me. Life is hard. We all go through tough times. We all face moments when it feels like everything is falling apart. But here's the truth. When life gets tough, don't focus on how hard it is. Don't focus on the obstacles in your way. Instead, focus on the next step. Focus on what you can control. Focus on the next opportunity, the next action you can take. Because here's the thing. Pain is temporary. It's going to pass. But the results of your perseverance, the strength, the growth, the victory, those last forever. Every time you push through a tough situation, you come out stronger, you come out wiser, you come out with something you didn't have before. When you feel like quitting, ask yourself, what would happen if I kept going? What if just for today you decided that quitting is not an option? What if you pushed through the discomfort, pushed through the pain, and came out on the other side with a win? You are stronger than you think. You've already overcome so much. You've already been through so much, and you're still here. So don't stop now. Keep going one step at a time, because the moment you quit is the moment you guarantee that you won't achieve what you're capable of. Turning setbacks into stepping stones. Here's the truth about setbacks. They are not the end. They are simply a part of the process. Every time you stumble, every time you fall, you have two choices. You can let it stop you, or you can use it as a stepping stone. You can use that setback to propel yourself even further. Think of every setback as a lesson. What did you learn from it? What did it teach you about yourself? The successful ones don't see failure as a defeat. They see it as a lesson. They see it as an opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Every time you fall, you have the chance to get back up, better and wiser than before. Don't let a stumble stop you. Use it as fuel to keep going, because the moment you stop learning, you stop growing, you stop becoming the person you're meant to be. Success is not about avoiding setbacks, it's about how you respond to them. It's about using each setback as a stepping stone to move closer to your goal. So the next time you fall, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And then get up and keep moving forward. Remember, setbacks aren't the end of the road, they're just the beginning of your next breakthrough. The importance of a clear vision. Let me ask you something. How can you reach a destination if you don't know where you're going? If you're sailing a ship without a clear course, you'll drift aimlessly, lost in a vast sea. Aimlessly, the same is true for life. Without a clear vision, you can't steer the ship of your life towards success. Your vision is your map. It's the blueprint that guides every decision you make. When you know where you're headed, everything becomes clearer. Every action you take, every step you make aligns with that vision. Without it, you'll be making random moves, hoping to stumble upon the right path. But success isn't about stumbling upon the right path. It's about choosing it. Take time right now, right this moment, to define your vision. What do you truly want in life? What is your end goal? It doesn't matter if it seems big, impossible, or out of reach. What matters is that you define it, because without a clear vision, all the effort in the world won't matter. You can work hard, you can grind day and night, but if you don't know exactly where you're headed, you'll be working against yourself. You need to know your destination. You need to see it clearly in your mind's eye. This vision will not only guide you through tough times, but it will inspire you to keep moving forward, even when the road gets hard. So take a moment now, close your eyes, and picture where you want to be. Make that vision so vivid that it becomes your driving force. Belief, the fuel for your journey. Here's the truth. Belief is the engine that makes your vision come to life. Without belief, nothing happens. You can have the best idea, the most ambitious dream, but if you don't believe in yourself, you won't have the energy to pursue it. Your belief is the fuel that propels you forward, especially when times get tough. You see, belief isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect others to believe in you? How can you expect the universe, or whatever you believe in, to believe in you? Your belief is everything. I'm sure you've heard stories about people who overcame insurmountable odds, people who started with nothing, people who were told they would never succeed. But they didn't listen to those voices. They believed in themselves when no one else did, and that belief carried them to unimaginable heights. You have that same power inside of you. But belief doesn't come from others. It comes from within. It starts with you. If you wake up every morning and believe you're capable of greatness, you will start to act like it. You'll start to show up in ways you never thought possible. You'll push past limits. You'll keep going when others would quit. If you don't believe in yourself, who will? The power to create the life you want lies in your hands, but it starts with believing that you're worthy of it. You are, so believe it. Aligning actions with your vision. Now listen closely. Your actions must match your vision. If your actions are not aligned with your vision, you're working against yourself. It's like trying to drive a car, but constantly turning the wheel in the wrong direction. No matter how hard you push on the gas, you'll never reach your destination. Your vision sets the course, but your actions take you there. Every day, you have the choice to either move toward your goal or move away from it. Are your actions in alignment with where you want to go? Are they in harmony with your vision? If your vision is to be an entrepreneur, then your actions need to reflect that. You can't expect to succeed if your daily routine doesn't support that goal. Take one step today, right now. Do something, no matter how small, that moves you closer to your vision. You can't wait for the perfect moment. You need to start now. Your actions, no matter how small, compound over time. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about being consistent every single day. So I challenge you, what can you do today to get one step closer to your vision? Trust the process. You're closer than you think. I know the journey can feel long. Sometimes it feels like you've been working forever and success is nowhere to be found. But here's something you need to hear. You are closer than you think. You're closer to your goal than you can see right now. The hardest part is always the waiting, the moments when you feel like nothing is happening, when your progress seems invisible. But trust me, it's all happening. Every step you take, no matter how small, is one step closer to where you want to be. Trust the process. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's built on consistent effort day after day. When you're in the middle of it, it's easy to lose sight of the finish line. But keep going. Every challenge, every setback is simply a part of the process. And soon you'll look back and realize how far you've come. So don't give up now. Keep going, keep pushing. Success isn't as far away as it feels. The next step you take might be the one that changes everything. Keep your faith strong, trust the process, and know that your moment is coming. In the end, everything you want, everything you dream of is just a few steps away. The key is vision, belief, aligned actions, and trust. Keep your eyes on the prize and trust the journey. You're capable of far more than you realize. Now get moving. Now is the time to act. And let me tell you something. Right now, this very second, is your moment. This is the time. If you keep waiting for the right time, it will never come. The perfect moment, it's a myth. The only moment you have is now. And if you don't act now, you will keep waiting for a time that may never exist. I want you to feel the urgency of this. This is your moment. Don't wait another second. You have everything you need right now. All the resources, all the strength, all the potential. You already have it within you. So why wait? Why put it off? Why let fear or doubt control your actions? That one step you're afraid to take it now. It doesn't matter if it's small. Small steps lead to big changes. The hardest part is always the first step. Once you take it, the momentum builds, and suddenly the journey doesn't feel so impossible anymore. So here's my challenge to you. What are you waiting for? Is it fear, doubt, the voice in your head telling you that you're not ready? Let me tell you something. You'll never feel fully ready. It's okay to feel scared, but you can't let that fear stop you. You need to use it. Turn it into your driving force. The longer you wait, the longer you stay stuck. And let me tell you, stuck is not where you're meant to be. It's time to move. Your future starts today. Listen closely, because I need you to hear this. Today is the day. Right now, in this moment, you have the power to change your life. Your future starts with this one action. It starts when you choose to step forward, no matter how uncertain, no matter how difficult. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take that first step. That's all it takes to set the wheels of change in motion. The future you dream of, it's one step away. One. This is not just some motivational speech. This is the truth. Your future is being shaped by every action you take today. Every single one. If you want success, if you want to live the life you've always dreamed of, it starts with you deciding that today is the day. I'm telling you, you are one step away from everything you want. All it takes is that decision, that choice to act now. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for things to align perfectly. There is no perfect time. There is only now. So take it right now. Step into the life you deserve. You have the power, you've always had it, and today you're going to prove it to yourself.